joining us for today's weather update. We are closely monitoring a major shift in the atmospheric pattern across the United States, and what is unfolding suggests that the quiet weather experienced in many areas may soon come to an end. Over the next several days, a series of low-pressure systems and upper-level disturbances will move from west to east, creating favorable conditions for multiple rounds of strong thunderstorms. This means the risk of damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes will increase across portions of the Central Plains, the Northern Plains, and the Midwest. Looking at the current weather picture, we can already see a significant transition taking place on a continental scale. Over the past several days, the jet stream pattern has remained relatively stable, limiting the development of major storm systems across certain regions. However, that pattern is beginning to change as a new upper-level trough moves inland from the Pacific. As this system advances eastward during the coming days, it will strengthen southwesterly flow aloft while providing substantial energy for thunderstorm development. Today, the primary focus for severe weather is centered across North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. Atmospheric conditions in these areas are becoming increasingly supportive of isolated supercell thunderstorms. Forecast guidance indicates that several storms may develop during the afternoon and early evening before eventually merging into larger storm complexes. This period will require close monitoring because when storms remain isolated, they typically have a greater potential to produce tornadoes than when they become part of a larger organized system. In addition to the tornado threat, large hail is expected to be a major concern today. Some locations could experience hailstones large enough to cause damage to vehicles, rooftops, and crops. Strong thunderstorms may also generate powerful wind gusts capable of bringing down trees and causing localized power outages. Meanwhile, across the Texas Panhandle, New Mexico, and parts of Oklahoma, weather conditions will also remain unsettled. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected throughout the afternoon and evening, although the severe weather threat in these regions is lower compared to the northern plains. Residents should still be prepared for isolated storms capable of producing strong wind gusts and localized hail. As we move into tomorrow, active weather is expected to continue across the northern portion of the Central Plains. Meteorologists believe that many of the storms will quickly organize into larger clusters and squall lines. While this may reduce the tornado threat somewhat, it will increase the risk of widespread damaging winds. Linear storm systems are often capable of producing strong wind events that affect large areas and multiple communities simultaneously. Cities such as Fargo, Aberdeen, and many locations across east and South Dakota will need to closely monitor conditions from late afternoon through the nighttime hours. Some areas may experience wind gusts strong enough to cause infrastructure damage and disrupt outdoor activities. By Thursday, another round of severe weather is forecast to develop as atmospheric energy continues to increase from the west. The area near Rapid City once again becomes a region of interest. This time of year often brings favorable conditions for powerful supercell thunderstorms across the northern plains due to the combination of warm, moist air near the surface and strong winds aloft. Current forecast models indicate that large hail will remain the primary threat, while the possibility of a few tornadoes cannot be ruled out. However, the period receiving the greatest attention from forecasters is the upcoming weekend. A large-scale low-pressure system is expected to gradually move into the Midwest. Recent forecast model runs have increasingly suggested a slower progression of this system. That change is important because it may allow additional atmospheric energy to build before thunderstorms develop. If the current forecast trend continues, Friday could mark a significant expansion of the severe weather risk. A broad area stretching from Minnesota and Iowa through Wisconsin and into Illinois could experience scattered strong thunderstorms. Although it remains too early to determine whether a major severe weather outbreak will occur, early indications suggest that at least some locations will face threats from large hail and damaging winds. By Saturday, the low-pressure system is expected to approach the Great Lakes region. This could place Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan under an increased risk for strong thunderstorms. This development is particularly noteworthy because these states experienced a relatively quiet month of May with very limited severe weather activity. In fact, many locations in Indiana saw almost no significant tornado warnings throughout the month. As a result, if current trends continue, this weekend could mark the return of severe weather to areas that have remained unusually quiet. Moving into Sunday, forecast uncertainty begins to increase. Global weather models are still showing differences regarding the exact location and strength of the primary low-pressure system. However, there is growing confidence that widespread showers and thunderstorms will affect portions of the Northeast. At this time, there are no strong indications of a major severe weather event on Sunday. But forecasters continue to closely monitor changes in the evolving pattern. Perhaps the most significant aspect of the forecast is what may occur during the second week of June. Long-range models and ensemble guidance are increasingly pointing toward a highly active weather pattern developing across the Central Plains and Midwest. Several strong low-pressure systems are forecast to form and track through these regions. Combined with abundant moisture flowing northward from the Gulf of Mexico and favorable upper-level winds, the atmosphere may become highly supportive of large-scale severe weather events. Some forecast scenarios even suggest the possibility of significant severe weather outbreaks around the middle of June. While the forecast range remains relatively long and confidence is not yet particularly high, the overall trend clearly indicates an increasing threat of severe weather. This also coincides with the time of year when many parts of the Midwest enter the most active phase of their thunderstorm season. In addition to severe weather concerns, rainfall will also become an important issue in the coming weeks. Over the past several weeks, many areas across the Midwest have experienced prolonged dry conditions with precipitation totals well below average. However, that pattern now appears likely to change. Forecast models indicate that substantial rainfall may develop from the Dakotas through Minnesota and Wisconsin between now and mid-June. Some locations could receive rainfall totals exceeding several inches if multiple storm systems repeatedly move across the same areas. This would help improve soil moisture levels and benefit agricultural interests. But it could also increase the risk of localized flooding and flash flooding in low-lying areas or locations with poor drainage. Meanwhile, the impacts of severe weather have already begun to emerge. Just last night, a powerful line of thunderstorms swept across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. Numerous reports indicated very strong wind gusts, with some areas recording winds comparable to those found in tropical storms. Several communities reported damage from fallen trees, damaged signs, and localized power outages. This event serves as a reminder that the severe weather season is gradually becoming more active. To summarize, the United States is entering a period of significantly more dynamic weather. Multiple rounds of strong thunderstorms are expected to impact portions of the northern plains and Midwest through the end of the week. During the second week of June, the severe weather threat may increase even further as several strong storm systems return to the region. Residents in high-risk areas should continue monitoring weather forecasts, review their severe weather safety plans, and ensure they have a reliable way to receive warnings should dangerous conditions develop. We will continue to provide updates as new information becomes available. Thank you for watching.